Now, while our website is live and running, we can actually use Jquery to add new elements on the fly. Now, for example, if I selected my H1 and I decided to add a new button before the H1, then I simply use the before method, and inside these parentheses, I can put down the HTML that I want to add before our H1. So let's create a button that simply says new, and let's create the closing tag. And now if I hit enter, you can see that we've created a brand new button on our web page without changing any of our HTML code inside Atom. So that means that we can create HTML elements at any time we wish just by using code. But there's actually a few ways that you can do this. So previously I showed you how you can use the before. Now there's also after, which creates our HTML elements after the element that we've selected. So in this case, it creates it here after our H1. Now there's also prepend and append. And the difference between, say, prepend and before is that prepend will add your new HTML element into the item that you've selected just after the opening tag. So if you go ahead and inspect on this new button, you can see that it's been added inside the H1 just before the word hello. And the button that we appended got added just after the content of the H1, but before the end of the H1. So using before, after, prepend, and append, we have a lot of control over where our newly created HTML element is going to go. So just as a reminder, the before method will add your new element before the opening tag of the selected element. So in this case, it was our H1. And the after method will add it after the H1. But the prepend and append are a little bit special. They'll add your element just before the content of the H1 and right after the opening tag. And append does the opposite, where it gets added after the content of your H1, but still inside the H1 element. Now, if you wanted to remove elements, it's also really, really simple. All you have to do is just use our $sign to select the elements that you want to remove. For example, say if we wanted to get rid of all of our buttons, then we can simply select all of them and say .remove. And that will get rid of all of the button elements inside our current web page.